Welcome to the RVA Sports Awards, live from the Altria Theater, presented by Rosie's Gaming Emporium and Colonial Downs. Now, your hosts, CBS 6 Sports Director Lane Casadante and Richmond's own Kelly Lemon.
Good evening, everyone. We are coming to you live from the Altria Theater in downtown Richmond for the third annual RVA Sports Awards, presented by Rosie's Gaming Emporium and Colonial Downs. I'm Lane Casadante, Sports Director at CBS 6 here in Richmond. I am proud, overjoyed, thrilled to be here once again with a woman that we affectionately and enthusiastically call Richmond's varsity cheerleader, Miss Kelly Lemon.
Yes, thank you, Lane. It is so good to be back. Y'all know me from a lot of places: Urban Hang Suite, Virginia Video Network, and of course, the Richmond Times-Dispatch.
And like a dozen other things. How many W-2s do you get a year anyway?
It was too much in the mail on the 31st. We're not even going to talk about that because those are facts. But I'm honored to be here with you, Lane, and the rest of you tonight, both those here in the theater and all those watching at home.
Yes, we want to say hello, welcome, and thank you to all those watching live on CBS 6, on our CBS 6 digital app, and everybody driving around town listening on our friends at 106.1 ESPN. Richmond's own Arthur Ashe had a fantastic quote about sports, which some of you might know. He said, "You are never really playing an opponent. You're playing against yourself, your own highest standards. And when you reach your limits, that is real joy." And tonight, we are going to share a bunch of real joy.
And it doesn't matter whose name gets called. Everyone leaving here is a winner. That's because we are surrounded by people who have accomplished some amazing things and made this city, this region, and this Commonwealth a better place.
RVA Sports has really taken on a whole new meaning in recent years. It's a feeling and an energy that is embraced by athletes young and old, wrapped in a sense of pride in this place that all of us call home.
Yeah, this community we all share. And if you need more inspiration, make sure you watch this piece from our friends over at Synergy Technical.
RVA Sports is competition, offense,
memories,
multicultural, united, newsworthy,
intensity and passion,
teamwork, and togetherness.
I'm singing na 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 na.
You, the fans, our fans, the people in this room. So everybody, get up, stand up, and let's cheer for our community, RVA Sports.
I'm singing na 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 na. I'm moving on.
Give yourselves a hand, everybody. Seriously, thank you all for being here, for caring about sports and athletics and everything that we do in this area, because if it weren't for you all, we wouldn't be able to be doing this. And speaking of the vibrant and collaborative RVA sports community, we're going to welcome to the stage Lori Collier-Warren, the president of Richmond Raceway.
And she's here to tell us about the new RVA Sports Awards. It's the Winner's Circle, an organization coming together to continue to promote the tremendous power of sports in the RVA community. Thanks, Lori.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Lane. Wow, Richmond, you clean up well. Good job. I am extremely excited and honored to represent the amazing organizations that are part of the RVA Sports Awards Winner's Circle. We are the friends and supporters invested in recognizing the diverse and powerful sports community, celebrating the many teams, coaches, athletes, and most importantly, families that work to elevate the sports in the Richmond region. We at Richmond Raceway are dedicated to continuing to create long-lasting, memorable moments at America's premier short track, the coolest track, and hosting annually 2 NASCAR race weekends. Richmond Raceway is a regional leader for events including sports, live music, consumer trade shows. It is our pleasure to partner and support the RVA Sports Awards along with our many sports friends in the RVA community. We look forward to celebrating this year's and future outstanding award winners. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lori. Again, we can't express how happy both Kelly and I are to be here with all of you and the Winner's Circle partners here tonight. And speaking of partners, 2 years in a row. People usually don't stick with me that long.
Oh, well, I'm here.
Feels like the Academy likes us. They really, really like us.
Easy there, Norray. No patting ourselves on the back until this show is over.
Okay, no, you're right. Okay, and to all the young folks in the crowd, that was a Sally Field joke. She was Forrest Gump's mom. Hell, that's probably too old for you. Just go to the old Google machine and figure it out.
You are so ancient, Lane. And remember what we talked about. You don't want to pull a Joe Coy. So there's going to be no jokes about Taylor Swift, more about the Swift Creek Reservoir.
Pulling a Joe Coy sounds painful, doesn't it? Yeah, don't lose the audience. I know. I think, though, we are up for the challenge this evening. I have been studying the great award hosts of all time. Billy Crystal at the Oscars, Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes. How would you all like a little bit of that treatment tonight? And then Parney at his pub.
Whoa, 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 whoa. First rule of Parney's pub, don't talk about Parney's pub.
The first rule was don't look at his pants.
Hey, wait, once again, family show, let's keep this clean. How about this? Let's talk about some of our favorite celebrity encounters.
Yeah, well, 2 years ago, we had Tiki Barber here, former UVA great, New York Giants running back, here help us with the show.
Wahoo
He was
wah.
fantastic.
That's right, and last year we had Taylor Heineke, such a great guy.
Yeah, he was. I think the most amazed I have ever been by a celebrity sighting here in Richmond when golfing great John Daly was here a few years ago.
Yeah, I know where you're going. I know what you're talking about when he sunk that hole-in-one at the Federal Club in Glen Allen back in 2020. Right?
No, no.
Okay.
Actually, I'm talking about the following year. I shot video of him hitting a really, really nice drive.
Oh, I mean, that's cool, but it doesn't sound too exciting, though.
He didn't use a tee.
Oh.
He used a beer can.
There it is.
Can of Amstel Light. Hit the ball right off of that can. Watch this. And he doesn't even spill it. Picks it up, and I'm sure he finished it, as well as that cigarette.
Wow. That was a late night after party.
No, it was not. It was the middle of the afternoon, bright sunshine, daylight at the Country Club of Virginia.
Sounds like a scene from Caddyshack.
Oh, yeah, Gunga Gunga, that's exactly right. The greatest thing I have ever witnessed in my life, and I've been to the Vatican.
Oh, you got some problems. Woo! Got some problems. Anyway, celebrities aside, the great thing about the RVA Sports Awards is the real superstars are the coaches and the athletes and the fans that we're honoring right here tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those nominees got to walk the Richmond Times-Dispatch red carpet in grand style earlier this evening, and now they are ready to join us up here on the grand stage. And we do have a couple of familiar faces and former winners in the crowd that we would like to recognize. Last year's winner, Hunter Lehman, Sportable Spokes. Where is Mr. Lehman? Hunter is here with us tonight. He and his athletes, they stole a show last year. If you were here and you remember when they received the Courage Award.
Yeah, and speaking of the Courage Award, the first ever recipients, Coaches for a Change, are here.
Where are the Coaches for Change? I know I saw Coach Dell. There he is. Coach, thank you for being here tonight. One person that's been a fixture at this award show since its inception, our very first female athlete of the year, running phenom Kira D'Amato, not here tonight, but had a very good reason. She is in Orlando, took part in the Olympic marathon trials earlier this morning. Congratulations to Kira for making it to the trials.
Congratulations. But tonight, we will recognize local athletic achievements from the past year, and we will honor those that make the Richmond region better every single day through sport. RVA, are you ready to kick off some awards? Our first award of the evening is Coach of the Year, presented by Brown Distributing Company. Coaches are so much more than people on the sidelines drawing up plays for the team. They're mentors and teachers. In many cases, they're surrogate parents as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. These nominees for Coach of the Year, presented by Brown Distributing.
Our first nominee led his team to their best season in school history. The Yellow Jackets won 13 games and advanced to the semifinals of the NCAA Division III playoffs for the first time ever. He was named ODAC Coach of the Year for the 6th time, as his Yellow Jackets have won 5 of the past 8 conference titles. From Randolph-Macon College, football coach Pedro Aruza. Our second nominee has been a fixture in the Richmond running scene for years, even though she didn't start running until she was nearly 50. She is just the second coach her program has ever had, and its first African American, leading to a more welcoming environment for those considering taking up the sport. The half marathon team has grown each year since her arrival, and she's not only a support for runners, but a resource for coaches around the area. From the Sports Backers Half Marathon Training Team, Coach Cheryl Gross-Wright. Our third nominee set school history in just her first year as head coach. The Richmond women's lacrosse team won 17 games in 2023, including their first ever NCAA tournament win over Marquette. During her tenure on staff, the Spiders have won 3 Atlantic 10 tournament titles and nearly 80% of all their games. Her active winning percentage is among the top 10 in the nation. From the University of Richmond, women's lacrosse coach Ann Harrington. Our fourth nominee also made history with his club in getting them to the playoffs in consecutive years for the first time ever. In their final 76 games of the 2023 season, they went 47-29, including winning 13 of their last 17 to win the second half division title. This despite only having 11 players out of the 27 from their opening day roster due to injuries and personnel changes. From the Richmond Flying Squirrels, manager Dennis Pelfrey. Our last nominee has continued a dynasty that will be hard to match. His Patriots won their 8th straight state volleyball championship in November in convincing fashion with a 3-0 victory over Atlee. The Patriots finished the year 27-0 and dropped only 2 sets all season. They have finished every year with a state title since 2016. From Patrick Henry High School, boys volleyball coach Andy Stewart.
And to announce our first award of the night, the Coach of the Year, please welcome J.R. Waltauer, Director of Marketing for Brown Distributing.
Brown Distributing Company is thrilled to announce the recipient of the prestigious Coach of the Year award. We are proud to sponsor this award as it symbolizes our commitment to champion leadership and excellence within the Richmond sports community. We are here to celebrate an outstanding coach whose dedication and influence has left an indelible mark on the local sports landscape. The winner of the 2024 Coach of the Year is Cheryl Gross-Wright.
Wow. Ooh, dream come true. This has been such an unexpected honor of being selected to even be in this category, and congratulations to all the coaches. We're all winners. So many to thank, and I don't want to leave anyone out. Half marathon training team coaches and support, they get us through, they get us from the start to the finish line, and it's been fantastic every year. Sports backers, for the amazing running city that you've built with all the partners that help us do it. And Megan and Mara, I shout you out for all that you do. To my running posse, and I have a big one. You know who you are, and I would be in Florida, had it not been for this, to run a half marathon tomorrow. But this took precedence. Where's my time? To my husband, Richard, and my 2 sons, Nigel and Carson, who never complained or balked at all my Saturday morning runs, and they've always been my biggest cheerleaders. And I have to give a shout out to Ro Gammon, who preceded me as the head coach of HMTT. You modeled everything that a head coach should be, and I hope I'm living into the legacy that you set for us all. Thank you for passing the baton to me. I have just had so much joy and excitement, and Race Day in Richmond is the best day of the year. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it makes you want to run, doesn't it?
No.
No? Oh, it still doesn't? Okay. All right,
Just
fair
being
enough.
honest, I'll walk real fast, though.
Fair enough.
All right, next up, one of our most valued honors, the Community Champion Award, sponsored by Dominion Energy. It celebrates a person with a long-standing commitment to sports in the Richmond community, even though they're not a competitor.
Yeah, but this one is competitive, trust me. Given to a volunteer, fan, or advocate who has gone above and beyond to support RVA Sports Seed. To present this award, Dominion Energy has invited Rodney Williams, founder of Athlete to Boardroom, to tell us about this year's honoree and how he has firsthand experience with the inspiration this man has provided to so many.
Good evening. My name is Rodney Williams. I'm the founder of Athlete to Boardroom and a proud former player of tonight's honoree. I'm here to present the Community Champion Award on behalf of Dominion Energy to a true visionary and my former coach, Tony Squire. And when I think of Tony, many names comes up, but the first thing and the most relevant thing is Trailblazer. Tony started, in 1987, Tony started Richmond's first AAU program, and he also became the first AAU program in Richmond to be sponsored by a shoe company and the second in Virginia. And with all those accomplishments, the greatest thing that I remember about Tony is that he always took players that weren't that great and made them better. And I was actually one of those players. When I was 14, I tried out for Tony's team, and I ended up quitting because I thought that I wasn't good enough. But Tony called my dad and said, "Hey, bring Rodney back, I see something in him." Fast forward later, I had 40 Division I scholarships, I was a 1,000-point scorer in college, and played professionally overseas. Tony, I thank you. Beyond that, Tony, your impact just doesn't happen on the court, but it happens off. I was inspired to start Athlete to Boardroom, which helps athletes excel on and off the court or field because of you. And little did you know, those seeds that you were planting were going to grow a forest of trees. As Kevin Durant once said, Tony, you are the real MVP.
When Tony Squire started his basketball program back in the late 1980s, the internet was a rumor to most people, and social media was a figment of the most creative imagination. The way any high school athlete got noticed by colleges was by playing in front of them, in person. To Squire, this was the cornerstone of opportunity.
He gave us the opportunity to play basketball and compete on a much higher level than what we would compete. And that was very important for me. I think it helped me with my next career, which was coach football.
The main thing with Tony was he always wanted us to get exposure. Any opportunity he had, whether it was to call Sonny Vaccaro or if it was to host a tournament like he had in Richmond that had every Division I coach in the gym at the Siegel Center one time, like Tony was the first to do that.
Sonny Vaccaro is the legendary marketing agent that signed Michael Jordan to Nike and was played in the movie Air by Matt Damon. He was also the first to recognize Squire's ability to not just notice talent, but develop it. Squire did that by making his players go up against the best competition he could find. Those experiences stick with his players to this day, even if they change sports.
And we're going to scrimmage against Virginia Union. And I'm looking at Ben Wallace like, man, that dude was muscled up, tall, long arms. I'm like, man, who's going to check that guy? And he looked at me, hey, Kevin, you got Ben. I'm like, okay, I got him. You know what I mean? So just learning how to use your skill set to still compete on a high level versus high level guys.
More than just developing their ability, Squire taught them responsibility and accountability, even if it meant sacrificing the greater good on a national stage. David Boyden is an assistant coach with the Richmond Spiders and remembers playing in a tournament in Las Vegas. What happens there usually stays there, unless you played for Tony Squire.
A couple of our guys were late past curfew, and we got a huge game the next day, and those guys didn't play. So just having that guy, even though It was a huge game. It was important for him and his program, but just having someone that, has a standard for young men that's set, that, these are the rules, this is what has to happen. This has to happen not only for our program, but for you to be successful in life.
Squire's interest and influence have extended beyond the court and well past the end of any game. If you played for him, you mean something to him, and he maintains a presence in everyone's life that has somehow crossed his own.
He keeps in touch with everybody. Like, it's not just, it's not just me or one of his favorite players from the past.
He's done it through his spirit, if that makes sense.
Some kids didn't have the money to pay the fee to play. You know what I mean? And Tony went and raised money.
He'll bring up somebody from 13 and under team and tell me he talked to him, and I'm like, Tony, I haven't talked to him since I was 13.
He's been there, since I was 15 years old.
So those kids didn't have to pay. You know what I mean? And I don't know what would happen with some of those guys if they didn't have that opportunity.
He taught me to make sure that you pour everything you can into the people closest to you, and you will receive the benefits of that on the back end.
He's done it as a volunteer.
He's been a father figure. He's helped me with things outside of basketball.
He's very selfless. It was never about him. It's always, how can I help the next person get further?
He's done it out of the kindness of his heart and his soul.
I'd like to welcome Tony on stage, and if everybody would continue to join in congratulating our community champion, Tony Squire.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to let my guys, they got a bet going on, some of the ex-players. They're like, who's the first one to get some tears out of T. Squire? Because pretty much they've been under a good form of dictatorship for over 3 decades. Let me see. I have some extra time, I found out, so I wasn't prepared for that, but seeing that it's not a lot of times that you now can get me. It's not a lot of times you hear things like that. First, I want to start by, just going to talk about maybe 2 things. You can be what you can see, strangers and relationships. I was raised around a family. My family's over there, my mother, my aunt, uncle, aunt, my cousin, first cousin, and my son. And I was raised around a group of individuals that just gave. My grandmother came up here from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, with a middle school education and a suitcase. And she met a great man that married her. And they moved up here to give my mother and aunt, uncle a better life. But what did they get from that? Can you imagine back in those times, in the 40s, 50s, coming up and trying to make a life for everybody? But she did it. And when I was born, that was the last neighborhood that I knew where everybody, that old thing, a village raises a child, I knew everybody, and everybody knew me. That part of me. I get that from them. This has been easy. I first started this when I was a volunteer coach, and I wanted to figure out how all these other guys I read about getting all this exposure, going to all these camps and ranks, and I just kept asking, trying to figure it out. Then one day I had the blessing of meeting Rick Barnes, who's a good friend of mine, who's the head coach at Tennessee. And then I met Tubby Smith, Hall of Famer. Tubby Smith was the first one to tell me about 5-star basketball camp. I knew nothing about that because back in those times, camp was like $500. My mother couldn't do that. My mother was a single mother, done everything. I remember the time I found out, like in my 40s, my mom first got her job and was trying to provide for me. She had 60 cents a day to spend on lunch. And I didn't know that until I got in my 40s. So all that plays a part in just giving me this vision. God obviously gave it to me. I tell everybody he took the most unlikely person to do some significant things. And then I've also been blessed with great strangers relationships. I've been blessed with great volunteers. We have been volunteering, our entire staff starting with me since 1987. And as those of you that know a little bit about AAU, we're traveling all up and down, all over the place. We were taking trips to Providence, Rhode Island for a weekend because I knew there was going to be coaches there, and the gym held about 5,000 people, and that was the start. We kept going out, meeting people, relationships, strangers coming up to me. And then I had a chance to meet a guy by the name of Gary Charles, who at that time introduced me to Sonny Vaccaro from Air. Sonny was hearing about what we were doing. I happened to bring some new guys in that none of us knew who they were then. One of them was Ray Allen. The next one was Kevin Garnett. Both of those guys played with me. We've had Amari Stoudemire. We've had 15 guys to wear the Squires jersey that went on to the NBA. And we've been involved with pretty much over 800 to 1,000 kids receiving scholarships. We got involved heavily with the private schools and prep schools. Rodney's first prep school, St. Chris, was basically a phone call after I had a chance to meet Hamill. And that's how all that started. So I could go on and on about a lot of things, but I think this video sums everything up. The other piece is that I've had the blessing to be able to do is I've worked with 3 different juvenile detention centers as a volunteer. It got to a point where none of the kids would get in trouble the week that we would come. That's why I tried to go every week. I have 3 different juvenile detention facilities, and also have one of my former players that made a mistake. And he got a lot of time in a federal prison. And after 11 years that he was down there, I've probably made it 50 out of 52 weeks. 9 or 10 out of those 11 years. And we started a program. I wasn't the guy who's gonna be why. Those kids not trying to hear that. I was like, what are we gonna do now to improve and make sure you're straight by the time you come out? So that was a joy for me also. But I'll finish up because here I go again. I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful now we have a program that's going into year 3 that we started in Long Beach, California. One of my former alum that played on the B team. He was recruited by J.P. Morgan like he was LeBron James. He's a market director now for J.P. Morgan, and he told me, he said, T-Squire, I want to start a Squires out here. So we're going into year 3 in Long Beach, California. And we've also had a program in Waterloo, Iowa. One of my coaches moved out there. We started Squires Midwest, and we blessed those kids and tried to help all of them. I was greedy when it came to scholarships. I wanted them all. And I'm gonna prepare you. And I used to always tell the kids before we go to these events, with all these coaches lined up around the floor, this is a good day to be good. But they never got blown smoke. I don't walk on eggshells. We're not luring any kids. And also, I forgot this. Winston Brooks, one of our former players from Richmond, played for Gonzaga, started Squires West in Spokane, Washington. So we did that for a few years with boys and girls. And so another alum doing some incredible things. And when these guys come up here, they know I still would take them out back in the playgrounds or wherever else. Or either, I'm sure all of you understand about taking a group of 17 and 16-year-old guys to trips like Las Vegas for a week. It's hard for adults to control themselves. So we can imagine what you learn a whole lot about a 16 and 17-year-old when they're away from home for a week, from everything, to sometimes messing up or breaking curfew like David said, or either I'm getting them out their beds at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when I find out they messed up and we going running the steps outside on the hotel. You know, so that's been it. But again, I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for Lane, TV6. I'm thankful for all the sponsors. Kelly, Joiner Mines told me to tell you hello. And, but thank you all for coming. Thank you all and my family, and thank everybody, all my coaches, my volunteers, you know, the guys that have been with me over 20 to 30 years, Hannibal Tuck, Dr. Duhart, Reggie Mack, my super volunteers. All my volunteers have been great, but my super ones that's strangers. Adam Harrell from Harrell and Chambliss has been my attorney for the program. His son played. He put together our 501c3. Christine Johnson has handled all of our taxes. And then Bessie Harris, who I met working at the Juvenile Detention Center. And she called me every week when one kid wanted to speak, and I used to go every week. And she said to me one day, she said, if you ever need any help, let me know. And I said, I'm going to hold you to it. And Bessie Harris has still been volunteering with us now going on 15 years. So we've been blessed. Thank you for this award. God bless.
Once again, congratulations, Coach Squire. Thank you for all you do in the community. Thank you.
Amazingly well-deserved. Okay, now let's bring some energy to the stage.
Yeah, right now it's time for RVA's own DJ Rich Flo. He's here to command those ones and twos, and we're going to elevate this atmosphere. DJ Rich Flo, let's go.
Take me under. I don't know. Come on. Hot, sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage off instinct. Just don't think. Stink pink gators.
When we come back, we spotlight the event that made the biggest splash in the city, plus a special musical performance.
The RVA Sports Awards, presented by Rosie's Gaming Emporium and Colonial Downs.
And welcome back. Having the courage to put the pads on, lace up the boots, and step into the field of play is the foundation for any sport. And our next presentation is all about just that, instilling fearlessness in our future athletes by educating, inspiring, and empowering them to confront challenges in all forms.
Yeah, our next award is the Courage Story Award, introduced by Virginia Credit Union. Please welcome Angela Royston with Virginia Credit Union to tell us about this year's honoree.
I'm a little too short. Let me shorten this down. Good evening. The Courage Story Award was created to celebrate and recognize an individual, group, or organization that has shown extraordinary courage and commitment to the Richmond community that transcends sports. Last year's winner was the Sportable Spokes, and we were proud that RVA is home of the National Wheelchair Basketball Championship, a 2-year weekend tournament in April that shows just how inspiring differently abled athletes can be. Many of them had to overcome adversity to come out on top, just like the winner of this year's Courage Story Award.
Like millions of kids his age, Samar Lemons may have thought at one point that football would be a big part of his life. It turned out to be only part of his introduction. Lemons was paralyzed after a hit during a game playing for the Henrico Warriors. He spent months in therapy and rehab as a quadriplegic just to be able to come home to Richmond.
I'm moving my legs, I'm moving my core more, I'm moving my arms more. I can stand up longer than what I was. My blood pressure is getting better. And definitely my attitude, my mind state getting better.
All his hard work and determination were matched by love and support from his community, an outpouring of help he could have never imagined.
I was overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God. I wouldn't expect that many people just come out and build a ramp for me. It was like, dang, they did it quick. It was like probably not even 3 hours, 4 hours to build the ramp.
Since then, Lemons has been working on not just his body.
I'm getting movement.
Look at that.
Both of my arms. At first, I couldn't do none of that, but as I kept working, I can move my right arm, I can move my left arm a little bit more. Now next, I'm working on my core and it's up from there.
But also his soul.
I think faith is everything. If you don't got no faith, I don't think you're gonna get far. And if you ain't in that right mind state with God, you definitely, I mean, you can try, but I don't think you're gonna get far at all.
If faith brought him this far, it might help others with their struggles as well. That's why Lemon is taken to the airwaves with the Lemon Drop, a radio show that has allowed Lemons to share his journey with others. They may not have the same challenges he does, but they might all be uplifted by the same spirit.
I'm trying to motivate others and myself, steadily trying to progress and get to where I want to be in life. Make big things happen for me and my family. And I want to put a smile on everybody's face.
We are so incredibly honored and proud to present the 2024 Courage Story Award to Samar Lemons. Samar is here with his family. Let's welcome them to the stage. Let's give it up.
Yeah, these are the brightest lights I ever seen. Great day. Man, it's a blessing. I just want to thank you all for this Courage Award. I would never imagine me and my family would be here right now. It's been a lot. It's definitely been hard. I wouldn't expect us to be here, but we all thanks to God, thanks to Jesus. We came a long way. I just want to say to everyone, we all have problems. I'm in a wheelchair. You might not be, but that don't mean that you don't have a problem. So if you do have a problem, just continue to stay strong like me and my family, because everything gonna be all right. And yeah. Just some words of encouragement for everyone out there. Don't let people tell you what you can and can't do. I was hurt 3 years ago in a high school football game against Douglas Freeman. I played for Henrico. When I was hurt, they told me my mama I shouldn't have made it out the field because I fractured my neck that bad. So the doctors, they just tell me what I can and can't do. And here I am by the faith of God. I can move my arms and yeah. I'm moving along, and I just want to thank the RVA community, Mike King, Miss Danielle. I just want to thank everybody. It's a lot. Just thank you all. If I could sit up here and smile, I would. So, yeah, thank you all again. That's all I got to say. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yes. Congratulations. The lemon drop, put me on. What's going on? That's another thing I'll add. I'll make sure I get on his show.
I was going to say, another W2. I'm going to take everything he said, which was off the cuff, by the way. That came right from here. I'm going to take everything he said, print it out, and put it on my wall at work.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Congratulations once again.
Samar.
Yes.
And thank you to his family for being with us.
Yes. A fun game or a good race obviously means a lot to the folks who buy their tickets and sit up in the stands, but sometimes the influence of sporting events lingers long after the clock runs out and the crowd goes home. They can actually lift up an entire community.
Yeah, the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame is proud to present the new Event Impact of the Year Award, which recognizes the benefits sporting events have here in the RVA beyond just helping the bottom line.
Here are the finalists.
Okay.
Our first nominee makes a splash in the River City. Over 100,000 people came to celebrate the James River and everything it offers, surpassing its own attendance records. Nearly 2,000 athletes took part in events like trail running, mountain biking, and fishing, among others, while festival goers enjoyed the adventure zones. People from 23 states descended on Richmond and got to enjoy Grammy-winning musicians in a fusion of sports and music at Dominion Energy River Rock. Our second nominee has been one of the premier youth soccer tournaments in the nation for 38 years. 1,600 teams from 36 different states came to showcase some of the best talent in the country. Each year, over 150 state, cup, and regional champions play in front of hundreds of college coaches, hoping to play at the next level. All of this making the Jefferson Cup one of the biggest and most lucrative sports tourism events in Richmond. Our third nominee is driving greater awareness to the sport of NASCAR in the black community. Hosted by Bubba Wallace, one of only 2 African-American drivers in history with at least one Cup Series win, the block party endeavors to make everyone feel welcome at the track. The free festival drew nearly 4,000 current and new fans to the Richmond racetrack, making Bubba's Block Party one of the most inclusive and authentic events in the area. Our last nominee honors the legacy of one of its own. The Tri-Cities Chili Peppers established the Faulkner Foundation in memory of Prince George High School player Peyton Faulkner, whose life was taken too soon in a tragic accident shortly after his high school graduation. They turned a normal game night into an 80s neon night retrospective and fundraiser that helped the Peppers donate $10,000 in scholarship money and for finishing a pavilion at Faulkner's alma mater.
Here to present the Event Impact Award, presented by the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame, is the Hall's Executive Director, Mr. Will Driscoll.
The nominees in this category looked beyond the scoreboard to find ways to help those in need. Everything from benefiting underserved communities to improving health and wellness to promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. For that, they should all be applauded. Absolutely. We at the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame are proud to announce tonight's winner. The Event Impact Award winner is the Tri-City Chili Peppers Baseball Faulkner Fundraiser.
Thank you. I would like to read a speech prepared by Peyton's mom, J.J. Faulkner. First and foremost, I would like to thank God and the Tri-City Chili Peppers and team for making this night unforgettable. Our family, our friends, our Prince George community, but also the many of surrounding areas that showed up that night to pack out the house. But not least, the John Randolph Foundation that gave us a conduit to set up the funds and scholarship to make a difference and give back. Thank you, the Faulkners. Thank you. On behalf of the Tri-City Chili Peppers, I would like to say thank you to our Lord and Savior for providing us the platform and the professional sports to make this impact in our community. Thank you to our fans who continue to support the Peppers in our community outreach events. While the Chili Peppers are honored to be involved in a lot of outreach events, this cause was very personal to me and my family and closest friends. We love you, Peyton, and God bless.
Congratulations to the Peppers, and thanks so much for Peyton's family for being here tonight. Fantastic, and we hope to see more good works that they do in the future. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a quick break from the awards and share with you some unbelievable talent from right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, she's worked with some of the biggest stars in the industry like J-Lo, Maya, and from right here in VA, Pharrell. And she's been rapping since the age of 9. Let's welcome to the stage RVA's own Faith Boogie!
What's up, Richmond? Representing all the blocks in Richmond, Manchester, Carytown, Scott, Sedition, stop and listen. Casadante in the building, and all the noise, one and only Kelly Lemon. This the city where we breed the fittest. I'm talking NFL players like Russell Wilson. Gotta mention about the ash if we talking tennis. Big goals like the Richmond Kickers, we keep it player, baby. Faith Boogie on the mic, RVA Sports Awards, do it right. We just here to have a good night, celebrate where we from and unite. When I say faith, y'all say boogie. Faith, faith. Okay. La-di-da-di-da. It's the one and only B-double-O-G. Faith Boogie. La-di-da-di-da. You know I rock with Marty Smith on the E. SPN on Broad Street with Rodney. Yes, I'm a ram at the diamond bases loaded. That's a grand slam. Yeah, and that's a hard act to follow. Out here breaking records like here with the motto. Repping for the state like Highland Springs High School. 2023 Virginia Union won the title. Trojans in the Cavs, Spatters on the TV. Curtis Blair alumni, NBA referee. That's only a few, there's so many more. All eyes on us in 2024. We'll do it again cause we've done it before. What you talking about if it ain't RVA Sports?
Coming up, we highlight the next generation of RVA Sports, Youth Team and Athlete of the Year.
The RVA Sports Awards are brought to you in part by these great sponsors.
Welcome back, everyone. We'd like to take a moment to recognize the next generation of sports leaders.
Yes, Lane. Richmond Region Tourism's Foundation Scholarship Award Program is presented by RMC Events and recognized students at the collegiate level from departments at Virginia State and VCU. Here's Dan Schmidt from RMC Events to tell us about this year's winners.
Thank you. Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Kelly. And good evening, everybody. We're here tonight to recognize these two amazing scholarship recipients who are both with us in the audience tonight. First, Leslie Crocker, Chair of Virginia State University's Health, Physical Education, and Recreation Department. And Carrie LaCrom with Virginia Commonwealth University's Center for Sport Leadership. Ladies, on behalf of RMC Events and everyone, each of us in this Richmond region, we offer you our congratulations to both Dr. Crocker and Dr. LaCrom. Folks, together, let's give them a big round of applause and thank them for all they do for the future generation of leaders in our industry.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
We've got more awards ready to go, so let's get into it. Next up is the inaugural Youth Team of the Year presented by the Richmond Kickers. Through training, tenacity, and teamwork, these kids all rose to the challenge when the whistle blew.
Yeah, as did their supportive parents, who probably spent a small fortune on gas just getting them to and from all those practices and games, but it has been all worth it. Here are this year's nominees.
Our first youth team nominees had their best season in terms of wins since 1977 and made it further in the postseason than any other team in school history. Their 9 wins were the most since 2014, and they came within 2 points of the first regional title in program history. Their defense also pitched 4 shutouts, the most in any season ever. The first nominee, Armstrong Wildcat Football. Our second team brought home another state title back in the summer, their second straight, despite losing 15 seniors from their 2022 state title roster. They were just the 8th seed in their regional tournament, but finished off their playoff run with a 9-0 shutout win over Smithfield in the state title game. This was their 5th title in history, all coming in the last decade. They did not allow a single run in the state tournament. The second nominee, Hanover Hawks Baseball. Our next nominees also repeated as state champions and held the #1 ranking in the country according to the website Max Preps. They finished 28-0 and won the state title game by 57 points. It was their 5th state title in the last decade. Many of the players also competed in the National Throne Tournament, composed of the best high school teams and players from across the nation. The third nominee, John Marshall Boys Basketball. Our final nominees won a national championship for the Elite Club National League Under-17 division. They triumphed over 120 clubs from across the country in one of the top 2 youth leagues in the country. They clinched their title with a 2-0 win over Seattle, which was their second shutout of the tournament. The fourth nominee, Richmond United U17.
Welcome Madeline McCracken, Sports Director for W League RVA, to announce tonight's Youth Team of the Year Award winner presented by the Richmond Kickers.
On behalf of our new W League RVA team and the United States' longest consecutively running professional soccer franchise, the Richmond Kickers, I am proud to present the Youth Team of the Year Award. Our organization loves this award because it recognizes young athletes that have committed their time, their talents, and their energy to find success on the athletic fields while representing the larger RVA community. Join us in applauding these young athletes whose commitment to sportsmanship, teamwork, and passion has truly set them apart. The Youth Team of the Year winner is Hanover High Baseball Team.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of head coach Tyler Kane, who couldn't be here tonight. We'd like to thank RVA Sports Awards for hosting this great event, to the DJ, and congratulate all the Richmond athletes, coaches, and all the players that have been doing great here at Richmond, Virginia, representing this. I'd like to thank head coach Tyler Kane, who's put endless hours for the Hanover baseball program. I'd like to thank all the other coaches, Coach Dragum, Coach Charlie Dragum, who 20 years ago started Hanover baseball, came in and set the standard. I'd like to thank all the players, current players, and past players who have done a great job just building that culture, and all the parents who have helped fundraise, getting players on and off to the facility and back, and just endless hours of work that they've had. Thank you.
Congrats to the Hawks.
Yeah.
Big victory in a row this summer. From team accomplishments to individual achievements, it's always amazing when you see young competitors dominate in their chosen sport.
That's right, Lane. So it's time for another new award category, Youth Athlete of the Year, presented by Techno Branding Swag. Let's meet the nominees.
Our first nominee led his team to one of their best seasons in school history as a senior and was named to the All-Metro team. He threw for nearly 2,700 yards and 31 touchdowns, averaging over 200 yards per game through the air. He also ran for another 500 yards, guiding his team to within 2 points of their first regional title in school history. From the Armstrong Wildcats, quarterback Tony Allen Jr. Our next nominee has been a member of his school's varsity wrestling program for 4 years. He's won 3 state championships and 2 regional titles and was named All-American by the National Wrestling Coaches Association. He has also volunteered with the Chesterfield County Food Bank, the Atlantic Outreach Group, and is a Titan ambassador, helping freshmen transition into high school. From the Cosby Titans, wrestler Eli Kramer. Our third nominee isn't just satisfied helping her high school team win. She was selected to the U.S. national team for the FIBA Women's Americas Championship in Mexico. Team USA brought home the gold, making her the first in school history to be so honored. She's also been selected to participate in the Junior NBA Court of Leaders program. From the James River Rapids, guard Lainey Grant. Our next nominee won last year's Bay Rivers District and Region 3A cross-country titles, but made a bigger mark on a bigger stage. He was part of the American U20 triathlon team that won gold in Germany and won the U20 National Championship in Milwaukee. He also set school records in the 5K and 3,200-meter events. From the New Kent Trojans, runner Isaac Lamprecht. Our final nominee has led her team to back-to-back regional title appearances for the first time in school history. She was a team captain as a sophomore and has been named All-Region 3 times, all while being born deaf. She volunteers with Special Olympics and will study deaf education next year in college. From the Mills Godwin Eagles, field hockey player Julia Mann.
Announcing tonight's Youth Athlete of the Year award presented by Techno Branded Swag is Will Winston, President.
Good evening. Techno Branded Swag is honored to present the Youth Athlete of the Year award. We recognize the dedication and commitment these young, talented athletes exhibit by working hard and giving their best. Please join us tonight as we welcome the winner to the stage. The winner this evening is Isaac Lamprecht, triathlete, New Kent High School.
Wow. To paraphrase one of my favorite TV characters, Danny Rojas, sport is life. Sport teaches discipline. It demonstrates the value of success and failure. It shows the value of hard work. It creates the desire to strive constantly towards bigger goals. And in every competition, there's a moment where you have a split second to decide to put yourself out there and to recognize the moment of opportunity before it vanishes. So I want to take this opportunity to recognize my triathlon coach, Michael Harlow, who's sitting right over there, who has taught me so much more than just the sport of triathlon. But also thanks to so many other organizations and coaches that have helped me and supported my triathlon and running careers. Endorphin Fitness, the Live Red Foundation, Kinetic Multisport, Colonial Roadrunners, Greater Williamsburg Distance Running Club, Healthy Kids Running Series, the Massey Cancer Center, Sports Backers, Richmond Roadrunners, Swim RVA, Colonial Sports, Lucky Road, Point 2 Running Company, Richmond Track and Field, USA Track and Field, and of course, USA Triathlon. Individually, I would also like to thank coaches Aaron, Tanner, Nocter, Crump, Sibiak, Josh, Alexis, Christian, Holdren, Tompkins, Kaplan, and Willis, all the way down to my very first running coach, Holly Johnson. Additionally, thanks to Coach Rad for the opportunity to race collegiately at Wingate University. Thanks to the Schrader family for hosting me for the World Championships. Thanks to the president of the Virginia Association of USATF, Ray Funkhauser, for his part in helping me with all of my USATF stuff. And thanks to, of course, to my parents for finding and putting together all of these amazing people in my path so far. Finally, thanks to visitrichmondva.com, Rosie's and Colonial Downs, and Techno Branded Swag for supporting this celebration of sports. And congratulations to all of the participants. Thank you.
After the break, we announce the moments etched in RVA history and the groups that stood out amongst the rest with your Team of the Year.
The RVA Sports Awards are brought to you in part by these great sponsors.
Welcome back, and thank you. I was jamming right with you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. From the miracle on ice to the catch to the immaculate reception, the great sports moments can live on in our minds forever.
Yeah, it's really what sports is all about. Something that is cherished by a fan base and something that a team or an individual can look back on fondly long after their playing days are done. Here are this year's nominees for Moment of the Year, presented by Virginia Tourism.
Our first moment of the year took a little time to happen, but it was more than worth it. It came during the VISAA Division I Boys Soccer State Championship game between Collegiate and St. Christopher's, the third meeting between the two last season. The match went to double overtime, tied at 1. 2 minutes into the second overtime, Josh Parker took a corner kick feed and headed the game winner, giving the Cougars the title. It was the 5th state title in collegiate history, none of them nearly as dramatic. Our second moment came at the end of a regional semifinal baseball game at Godwin High. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Dylan Hudson hits a walk-off single for the winning run in the Eagles' 6-5 victory that sent them to the state playoffs. But during the Eagles' celebration, Midlothian catcher Cole Kafal stopped his pitcher Spencer Lloyd to offer a hug and some encouragement in the midst of a tough defeat. The moment was even noticed by Godwin head coach Josh Gentry in the middle of his own team's celebration. Our final moment came from Brooklyn, New York, as the VCU Rams wrapped up their second A-10 Conference Tournament title with a come-from-behind win over Dayton. The Rams were down as many as 11 in the second half, but fought back to back up their A-10 regular season crown with a tournament title and automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. After starting the season 5-4, the Rams won their 10th overall tournament title and earned their 19th trip to the Big Dance.
Announcing tonight's Moment of the Year award presented by Virginia is for Lovers, one of my favorite mentors and cheerleader for all things Virginia, President of Virginia Tourism Corporation, Rita McClenny.
The Virginia's for Lovers team is dedicated to promoting and sponsoring and looking at the Commonwealth as the best place to create indelible moments. We invite the world to Virginia as the best place on earth to create these moments. We're tremendously proud to be the sponsor of the 2024 Moment of the Year, and the award goes to Joshua Parker, Collegiate High School. Accepting the award on behalf of Joshua is his dad, Angelo.
I fly with the stars in the skies. I am no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a prize, but to live doesn't mean you're alive.
Good evening, everybody. Josh is unfortunately away in Florida scoring more goals at a tournament down there, so he sent me his words via text at the very, very last minute. Up here also is his brother Angelo Parker, who was one of his biggest fans, or is his biggest fan, I should say. So no longer my words, Joshua's words. Firstly, I'd like to thank God for giving me this opportunity. I would also like to thank my teammates who helped me to get to this position, and also my coaches who helped me to get where I am today. I would also like to thank my family for all their support, even through the hardest moments. They've always been there. This was a very important moment, and I am glad, that I can share it with you all. Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again. Next up is the Team of the Year presented by Synergy Technical. Each of these nominees have achieved success by working together and seamlessly supporting one another. And they've already got plenty of hardware to show for it.
Oh yeah, but let's see who gets to add one more thing to their trophy case this evening. Here are this year's nominees.
Our first Team of the Year nominees made it back to the NCAA Division III Super Regionals for a second straight season and set a program record for victories both in their conference and overall. They hosted a Super Regional for the first time in school history and won their second conference title ever. They had 5 all-conference players, saw their head coach earn his 500th career victory, and finished the season ranked 10th in the nation. The first nominee, Randolph-Macon softball. Our next nominees again made it to the postseason by clinching their division title over the second half of the season. By winning 13 of their final 17 games, they brought playoff baseball back to the diamond for the second straight year. They finished among the top 5 in the Eastern League in runs, RBIs, ERA, and wins, and welcomed their 5 millionth fan back in May. Our second nominee, the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Finally, this team won their first conference title in 2 decades, and their coach was honored as the CIAA Coach of the Year. They had a top 10 national rushing attack behind Jada Byers and started their season with a national TV game on the NFL Network. Overall, their offensive and defensive efforts were both ranked second in the conference, and their rushing offense and defense both led the CIAA. Our third nominee, Virginia Union Football.
Please welcome Synergy Technical's president and CEO, Rowana Mead, to announce tonight's Team of the Year award presented by Synergy Technical.
We at Synergy Technical greatly value the impact and importance of teamwork in sport and are extremely excited to sponsor this award again this year. We know teamwork is one of the greatest assets of any team, coach, and athlete, and of course in business. Tonight we are honored to award the Team of the Year. And the winner is Virginia Union University Football.
Oh, man. I knew tonight was going to be a good night when my wife got ready before I did. I knew it. I knew it was going to be a good night. I'm just amazed. I get an opportunity to do something that I love and coach a bunch of great young men while I'm doing it. I have 100 young men over there on the north side of town that just really bought into the vision that I had, and a bunch of great coaches like the one standing next to me, and a bunch of great families. And I was always taught that team stood for together, everyone accomplished more. And this year I really found that out. It was a top to bottom commitment from administration to everybody involved. We were able to bring home some hardware this year after 20 plus years, and do some things that a lot of people didn't get a chance to do. So I wish I could have had a few more of those guys here with me tonight to share the honor. But again, I'm glad for the ones that are here for us and all the claps that we received along the way, and everybody that kind of gave us a lot of encouragement words along the way as well. And I'm just ecstatic. Mama, I made it. If you're watching this on TV today, so happy to be here. Thanks everyone for that. Thank you.
Awesome.
We need to find an award for Coach Parker's wife next year.
That's the category right there, lady.
That is not something I have ever
Congratulations
experienced.
to all the wives that got dressed early.
Never experienced that in my life, whatever. My wife's in New York. I don't care. I can say whatever the heck I want right now. She's not going to hear it.
Oh, she
okay.
will.
I know. You all hear everything, don't you?
She hears all.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Time for one more musical performance from one of Richmond's own.
Let's give it up once again for Faith Boogie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This here make you want shimmy. When I hit that legal age, I was all about the Henny, but it's levels to the ish. Now I'm on my David Finney. Let it sell her for a bit, it might be worth a pretty penny. With a cash at, but I ain't waiting. Come on, sip past that. Stop that hating, post a sip spit hashtag. Every time you pour that orange swift abstract, cheers make the glass crash. Let it breathe, I can smell it through my nostrils. Bottle art giving me a vibe like Picasso. Big bold taste, colossal. Ready to drink now, or you can let it age like a fossil. Yo, blueberry plums on my taste buds. Paired with this ribeye steak and asparagus. Vineyards in Cali, in case you wonder where it was. Large format in the event, you gotta share the buzz. It's just an abstract thing. Pass that thing, don't splash that drink. Yeah, it's just an abstract thing. Pass that thing, don't splash that drink. Can't stop, won't stop.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop. Pop a cork. Dropping bottles in your crib, wine stork. I was taught that every bottle has a story. Sister spit, this is it, don't ignore it. Pour in, no spill when I pour it. Cabernet, Sauvignon, I enjoy it. Perfect scent when I pull it out of storage. Mercury head gon' cost you a pair of Jordans. Aromas without the floors, so scandal without the force. When I sip, the taste of the berries is so enormous. Go back down, so historic. Out in Napa, I'm transported to the vineyard. Tastes expensive, big occasion when I pour it, So pour me up, soft tannish, chocolate, espresso on the cusp. When I ball out, orange swift is a must. Don't trip, put your lips to the cup, sip it up. Can't stop, won't stop, pop a cork. Dropping bottles in your crib, wine storage. I was taught that every bottle has a story. Mercury head gon' cost you a pair of Jordans. Thank you, Richmond.
Coming up, the final awards of the night. Male and Female Athletes of the Year.
The RVA Sports Awards are brought to you in part by these great sponsors.
All right, everyone, can you believe we're down to our last two awards for the evening? Lane, can you even imagine what it would be like to be an athlete?
I have to imagine it, because I couldn't do it in real life.
Okay.
No. And I don't want to brag, though. However, this is somewhat athletic. No one tosses a Nerf ball around the sports office like this guy.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see if we can maybe get that category in next year, maybe. But
most damage done to
Right.
My boss didn't hear that.
Right now, let's focus on some actual sports stars. Male Athlete of the Year, presented by Colonial Downs and Rosie's Gaming Emporium.
Yeah, these contenders represent America's two most popular sports, football and basketball. And in addition to possessing remarkable athletic skills, they are also men of impeccable character. Here are this year's Male Athlete of the Year nominees.
Our first nominee once again led his team to the NCAA playoffs and etched his name in his school's record books. He totaled over 100 tackles in 4 full seasons and was named All-Conference all 4 years. He was a finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award given to the FCS National Defensive Player of the Year and finished his career second on the all-time Spider tackling list. He is also believed to be the only player in history named as an All-American in 5 different seasons. From the University of Richmond, linebacker Tristan Wheeler. Our second nominee is a 3-time State Defensive Player of the Year and 3-time All-American. He helped the Yellow Jackets to a national title as a junior and set a new program record for blocked shots as a senior. He is also top 5 in rebounds and finished with a 14 points per game average over his 4 years in Ashland. He is now playing professionally for the Seeburg Wizards in Germany. From Randolph-Macon, forward Miles Mallory. Our third nominee led his program back to just their second conference title since joining the Atlantic 10. He was named All-Conference and both the A-10's Player and Defensive Player of the Year. He led the Rams in scoring, assists, and steals as the Rams won both the regular season and tournament titles. He scored a career-high 37 points against St. Louis and was in double figures in 21 of his team's 30 games. From VCU, point guard Ace Baldwin Jr. Our final nominee made a national name for himself straight out of the defensive backfield in Ettrick. After transferring from JMU, he had 11 interceptions over his final 2 seasons, ranking 4th in the nation in Division II in interceptions with 6 as a senior and 2nd with 22 passes defended. He was named the CIAA Defensive Player of the Year and was invited to both the Reese's Senior Bowl and the East-West Shrine Game. From Virginia State, defensive back Willie Drew.
Announcing tonight's Male Athlete of the Year award presented by Colonial Downs and Rosie's Gaming Emporium, Senior Director of Racing Operations. Please welcome Frank Hoff.
Colonial Downs and Rosie's Gaming Emporium is honored to sponsor the RVA Sports Awards again this year. The breadth of amazing athletes in the RVA is outstanding. Tonight, we are proud to recognize the hard work, perseverance, and work ethic of the amazing male athletes in the RVA. And the winner is... If I can open the envelope. Tristan Wheeler, University of Richmond football. Accepting this award on his behalf is the University of Richmond football defensive coordinator, Justin Wood.
Tristan could not be here with us tonight. He is in Florida training for his pro day, which is coming up on campus later this spring, but he did send us these remarks.
Hey guys, it's Tristan Wheeler. First, I just want to apologize that I can't make it to this great event. But big thanks to the Richmond Region Tourism Foundation for, 1, nominating me for this award, and 2, put on this event. And thanks to all the fans and supporters who voted for me. Although it's an individual award, there's hundreds of people that I can thank for getting me to this point. First, I'd like to thank and give glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, truly none of this would be possible. Second, my family, specifically my parents who've been with me for this entire ride, constant support throughout this journey. So big thanks to them, love you guys. And then all my coaches from Pop Warner all the way up to college ball. Thank you guys, especially my head coach in high school, Jason Roeder, who was really one of the first to believe in me to play at the next level. And then my defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, Justin Wood at Richmond, who not only was a second father figure to me, and taught me how to be a great ball player, but also taught me how to be a great man. So I thank him for that. Then all my teammates along the way who pushed me to be the best version of me, who will be my best friends for life. And then finally, all the support systems around me, whether it's academic advisors, teachers, athletic trainers, strength coaches, you guys are all equally important, and I couldn't have done it without y'all. And last thing I want to say is for all the people out there chasing the same dream as me, don't let anyone tell you can't make it. I've had plenty of people tell me I wouldn't go play D1 ball, I wouldn't be able to get to the next level and play in the NFL, but I'm chasing those dreams and earning it. So, keep pushing, use it as motivation, and just do you. Thanks again, everyone, and hope you have a good night.
Thank you, Coach Wood, for being here. Congrats to Tristan. I think he's going to be wearing an NFL uniform later this year.
I think so, too.
One way or the other.
Yes, congratulations to him. We've now arrived at that moment, the time to announce our final award. The women who were on the ballot for Female Athlete of the Year all have will, desire, and skills to be champions.
Yeah, an extremely talented group of athletes. Here are the nominees for this year's Female Athlete of the Year.
Our first nominee helped lead her team to historic heights in 2023 while having her own historic season. She won 17 games as a pitcher, third in her conference with a 1.62 ERA. She was also among the top 5 in the ODAC in strikeouts. At the plate, she led her team with 9 homers and led the conference with 54 RBIs. She was named All-Region First Team and the ODAC Player of the Year. From Randolph-Macon, pitcher and infielder Riley Bond. Our second nominee had both a buzzer-beating shot and a career high in games at the Puerto Rico Classico tournament. She was named to the Atlantic 10 All-Championship team, was second-team All-Conference, and first-team All-Academic. She led her team in points, rebounds, three-point shooting, and blocks, not to mention minutes played per game, as the Spiders made the second round of the Women's NIT. She also became the 27th player in program history to reach 1,000 points for her career. From the University of Richmond, forward Addie Budnick. Our third nominee won her conference title for the second straight year in the hammer throw, was 4th at the NCAA East Regional, and placed 15th at the NCAA Championships, earning her second-team All-American honors. She shattered the school record with a throw of 65.42 meters, which also set a new national record in her native Iceland. She will compete at the U23 European Championships. From VCU, hammer thrower Gudrun Hallgrimsdottir. Our final nominee is also performing on a national stage with higher goals in sight. She began last season with a collegiate record in the 600 meters and later set an American record in the 400-meter indoor dash with a time of 49.48 seconds, second best ever in the world. She was also the anchor leg in her team's world best effort in the 4x400-meter relay at the NCAAs. Her relay team also broke the indoor and outdoor collegiate marks, and personally, she improved the NCAA record in the 400 meters 3 different times. She also won both the 400 meters and the 400 hurdles, running the finals just 90 minutes apart. From the University of Arkansas and Mills Godwin, sprinter Britton Wilson.
Announcing tonight's Female Athlete of the Year award presented by Kings Dominion is Bridget Bywater.
Kings Dominion has fully supported sports in the Richmond region for more than a decade. It's very exciting to be here celebrating so many inspirational people this evening, but I'm very proud to highlight the female athletes of the year here this evening as well. We want to celebrate these exceptional women who continue to champion female sports in the Richmond region. And for the Female Athlete of the Year, the winner is Riley Bond, Randolph-Macon, softball.
Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, this is such an honor. I'd like to thank my teammates, Randolph-Macon softball, my coach, Coach Provitt right over there, my friends, family, my parents, of course, for all the lifelong support and commitment with me. And congratulations to the other nominees. Thank you.
Wow. What a night. Congratulations to all of our winners and nominees.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's an incredibly inspirational evening. We're proud to be a part of it again. Makes me want to head straight to the gym. You?
You know there's an after party, right? And there's plenty of adult beverages at the after party.
Did I say gym?
You did.
I meant bar.
Listen,
Wrong three-letter word, excuse me.
Listen, I am right there with you, Lane, so no worries there is. Anyway, there's much love in the audience here and at home, and we want to thank the millions that are watching and everyone that made this broadcast possible and a high-quality affair.
Even with the host that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We hope to see you all next year for the 2025 RVA Sports Awards presented by Rosie's Gaming Emporium and Colonial Downs Racetrack. We will be right back here on the Altria Theater stage Saturday, February 1st, 2025. Mark your calendars.
Yes, and now to close out the show, we got one more time for him to get on them ones and twos. Let's hear it for our awesome house DJ. Y'all give it up for DJ Rich Flo.
Thanks for watching the RVA Sports Awards, presented by Rosie's Gaming Emporium and Colonial Downs.